Hey y'all, welcome back to Mirror Expressions, where I invite you to come in and share a little bit of yourself with me as I will with you. And as always, please like, share, comment, subscribe. What? Oh, that's just you hitting that notification bell. Okay, keep at it. Anyways, y'all, I want you to drop a mirror down in the comments if you have looked at a mirror today and you feel A1 with what you see looking back at you. And if not, as always, I implore you to take whatever avenues you have to get back to a healthier you. Yes. All right, y'all. Without further ado, we are reviewing and recapping Married at First Sight. We are season 15, episode 7 in Real Life Reckoning. All right, it's day 8, right? And the couples, they're headed back to San Diego from Mexico. And at the shared apartments, they have, so this was something new that we saw. They had monographed mats, welcome mats, at the doors to the apartment. I thought that was so cute. And that was the first. We hadn't really seen anything like that before, right? So they're starting to learn about the little quirks, and they're just coming out right off top. Like Stasha immediately goes in on Nate about walking around the house with his shoes on, and then Miguel is like, I don't like TVs in the bedrooms. And let me just insert, like, I'm feeling you on there, Miguel. Like, I don't know too many people like that. Like, my friends make fun of me, but I don't. I don't feel like TVs belong in the bedroom. Y'all let me know. Am I out on this island by myself with Miguel? Don't leave me out here with him. Y'all let me know if I'm the only one that feel that way. But anyways, let me see what else. Oh, and being going in about, running this after a certain time, running that after a certain time. You know how he is. Always trying to save a penny. But anyway, so we learned that it's Morgan's first time living with a partner. And so, like I said, she's already kind of getting a taste of being frugalness. And so they kind of make compromises about, like, she won't wash, she'll wash or do the laundry before 4 p.m. And then he's going on about making sure all the lights are off. They only use the lights at night. Then this fool go around, turn off all the lights, and got his little light on his phone to help him see. I was just like, man, stop. Anyway, over at Mitch and Chris, we see them. They actually seem to be in a better place, right? And we'll just kind of see how that goes. Like, I don't know about them too, but Mitch, I mean, I don't know. He has his little funny moments though. I will definitely say that, but he's still kind of he's still having to grow on me. Like, I don't think I dislike him as much as I do kind of Miguel now. Like, I think Miguel is the one for me. But anyways, so they're in a better place. And then we even see him with that darn hubby t-shirt on, right? That he was refusing to wear when they first got ready to go on the honeymoon. Justin and Lex, they're talking about their concerns as far as living together. And his concern was, how are their dogs going to get along? And I just felt like in that moment that he knew something about his dog's temperament that he was not letting Lexus in on. And as we're going to see later on, I was right about that feeling, but I wrote that down at that particular moment because I just feel like he was hiding something. Like, why would you bring that up as a concern? Well, it's your biggest concern if you hadn't had a problem in the past with your dog's temperament. But anyway, that was just my thoughts. So anyway, Lindy is telling Miguel about her cat Tweeterbird, right? And so Miguel, he has a dry sense of humor. Like, I hate to say this because I feel like I've been telling y'all that I'm like Miguel. He's the one that kind of irks me the most. But I have like a dry sense of humor like that too. So he says, well, I'm allergic to cats, and he says it with a straight face. Like, I do stuff like that all the time, and people that don't know me, they would think I'm being serious. Like, even sometimes my friends be taking me serious, and then I have to come back and be like, man, I was just playing, like, but anyway, so he says it with a straight face. He's allergic to cats, and poor Lindy, she about to get all up in an uproar, like, oh my goodness, that's just tragic. It ended up, he's like, I'm just playing. Um, so she also brings up to him that how Miguel always bringing up decision day is a trigger for her. Like, just the whole word decision day for her is a trigger. Because it makes her feel like it's just an experiment. They're not in it for the long haul or whatever. And so she just says, I don't want to talk about it. All right, we are day 9. And they're visiting each other places like they normally do, as well as packing up the things that they figure they'll probably need in the next remaining weeks, right? So Alexis is showing Justin her place, and baby, why did we get a glimpse of their vagina mode? And it was like sitting in a field of grass or something. Like, I didn't get it. I did not get it, but hey, if you like it, I love it, baby. And Lexi, like, she loves her body, and ain't nothing wrong with that, boo. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because she had, like, several, like, revealing pictures of herself on the wall, or paintings, I guess is a better word to say. But anyways, Nate is showing, well, no, Nate is at Stasha's first. And he coming there looking all amazed, like, damn. Like, yeah, I done hit the jackpot on this one. Like, this how he came in looking like he ain't never had none before. And that he about that come up. I was just like, Stasha, make sure you get that posting up sign. Make sure you get it signed. So they had this little cute banter over this $700 coffee pot that she wants, or coffee maker. And I said it was cute because their interaction was cute, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, okay, Stasha, we know you bank, girl. We know you bank. I mean, she had a coffee maker sitting on her kitchen countertop already, so if it was good enough then, it's good enough for you to go and use it to share the apartment. But anyway, Kristen is at Mitch's, and I'll just say it was nothing exciting to see there at all. His tub was gross. His stove was gross. His refrigerator was gross. So that should paint the picture y'all need of Mitch's place. Like, it was just gross. Kristen said it was giving her anxiety. And baby, it would have given me anxiety too. Like, it's a no for me. And can I just insert that, Mitch, you and these thong sandals, like, I'm gonna need you to get them up, bro. I'm gonna need you to go and get them up. Like, they're not your best look. Clearly. Oh, all right. So we're at Miguel's house now, and he's showing Lindy around, tells her, that she could keep looking. He got to run to the bathroom. He got to use the bathroom. Let's see, he comes up on Lindy in this bear costume and freaks her out, but, she takes all his stride and she starts laughing. And, he tells her, this is something he likes to do, dress up. And, I just love how she kind of just took it all in, like, okay, that's his thing. Because had that been me, I would have been looking like, why is your grown ass sitting up here in a freaking costume? Like, this is what we not finna do at all. That would have been my reaction. Over to Morgan being as freaking out about her cat. Her cat, I think his name is Max, right? And I was just like, Ben, you need to calm down. When does the cat pee? Where does he pee? Does he pee on a schedule? Is it like a woman's menstrual cycle when they link up? Do we all go pee together? Ben, really? Come on now. Like, dude, like, get some sense about yourself. Like, get the F out of here with all that. Like, you doing the most right now. Go get your entire life and sat down. Because you sound straight ignorant right now. Do they pee? Do we all pee together? Not ignorant. Ignorant. You sound straight ignorant. Just sit down somewhere. All right. We gonna keep this thing moving. So, Kristen is now showing Mitch her place. And he meets her dog, Luna, for the first time. And poor Luna, that baby got so many health issues going on. She's a little pug, right? And I think Kristen was saying she has GI issues. She has asthma. I don't know. It's some more stuff. Like, it's just one thing after another. And she breathes real funny because of her asthma, right? And, but I don't know if y'all caught this. How Mitch kind of, shied away and threw that hand up. Did y'all see that? I know I was not the only one that peeped it out. I ain't like that, Mitch. I ain't like that. Don't be doing that girl baby like that now. Everything may not be for everybody, but don't do that woman or dog like that now. You couldn't do that to mine and then think we gonna all live together in harmony. No, sir. Nate, and those things on the back of his head, so he's showing off his home to Sasha. And you could say he was kind of nervous or whatever. And the truth be told, his place wasn't really that bad, but Sasha just came and ate that little boy alive. Do you hear me? She ate him alive. She was in like the closet dirty, and his shoes were all neat on the shelf or whatever. So then she started running her finger across the shelf. It's dusty. I'm just like, y'all been gone a whole week. Who was there to dust the darn place? And then she goes into the kitchen. Now, I ain't gonna even lie now. This part was a little, because I do this too now. I go to my folks' house and I be going through their stuff. But so she started going through the cabinet, just pulling out stuff. This empty. This expired. And then she came up across 2 wine glasses that had clearly been used and just put back up in the counter like without no washing. Like you can see the dried up red wine in the bottom. I said, that's them wine glasses him and Megan be using when they sit out together and watch their sunset. Oh. Justin's apartment is kind of like a studio, and Lex is just like, this too small for me, pretty much. She was like, nope, she could not live here with him, her dog, his cat. And then plus, it's close to the airport, so you hear the airplanes going over every so often. Oh, excuse me, y'all. And she doesn't like that. She's like, nah, I couldn't do that. So she meets, though, his pets at that time. His dog, Maya, and his cat, Bulu, or I don't know, Bugaloo. Look, I don't know. He just got a black cat. That's all I can say. All right, so now we're back at the shared apartment. We're still Ed, Justin, and Alexis, right? So at this point, both of them are with their respective pets, right? So I'm gonna set this scene. So we got Baloo. That's the cat's name. So Baloo, Alexis had blue in a little crate on her chest. And so she took the cat out the crate, and the cat just went off and ran somewhere. He's scary. And so Justin has Maya, his dog, and he has a big dog. She kind of looks like a German Shepherd, maybe, or at least a German Shepherd mix. He has her on a leash, and then Lex has this little bitty dog. I don't know what that is. Well, anyways, so her dog is on a leash as well, but she takes her dog off the leash to go run around. So the dogs do not have a first good interaction with each other. You know, they kind of get a little snippy, but that was it at first. So Lex is going around like unpacking, putting things up. Her dog is off the leash. Maya's still on leash, and Justin is holding on to Maya's leash, right? And so all of a sudden, we hear the dogs get into it, and Alexis comes running to get her dog. And at first, you know, when it first happened, the altercation between the dogs, we just saw Justin kind of sitting back, almost nonchalantly. And I was just like, you know, I wouldn't expect that from him. But you know how emotional and all, you know, he is. And, you know, but for him to just kind of sit back like, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Like, he just seemed so unbothered at first. But I don't think, even though that's how it appeared on camera, I think the real thing was he was probably just trying to keep something further from happening. Like, I think he was really just trying to hold his dog Maya back in a way from the other dog while Alexis assessed the situation, see what was going on. So when they got into it, Alexis immediately came over there. She got her dog, and the dog was bleeding from the eye, right? So quite naturally, Alexis is upset. And so she's calling around to figure out, hey, where can I take Newton? That's her dog's name. Where can I take him to get this looked at and, you know, get him fixed back up and into a healthier place? You know what I'm saying? So she finds somewhere, and Justin's like, well, can I go with you? And Lexus is like, no. You know what I'm saying? So I get that she was upset. I get that. And that at that point she probably was just shut down. Like, her baby was hurt. But it was kind of almost like a punishment for him that she didn't let him go. Like, she didn't allow him to be there to support her through that. And I don't know if she kind of realizes that, or if it was just like, I'm just completely shut down and I just got this on my own. Like, she went into that, I'm just independent and I can do this without you type of mode. I don't know. But that's just kind of how it was given off. So she was just like, you know how I feel about Newton. That's my baby. So she leaves so that Newton can get the care he needs. And of course, Justin sitting at the table doing what he does best, and that's crying, right? All right. So it's day 10. And Pastor Cal is going around visiting all the couples. And I like that we're getting an expert in right away, because I don't know if we've ever seen that happen so soon. I know here in the more recent seasons, we have not seen an expert get in there this soon. So he shows up at Stasha's and Nate's first, right? And he asks, well, what does marriage look like for you? And Nate said that it looks like them being a power couple. Like, he's stuck on this being a power couple. Like, yeah, Nate, we know you here for the opportunity, for the come up. We know it. She says it looks like being financially free. So Pastor Cal asked Sasha, well, are you okay with his salary? And Sasha was like, it's workable. In other words, it ain't what I would like, but you know, it'll do. We found out that he makes about 150,000 a year, whereas Sasha makes about, what did she say? She makes about 415,000 a year. So Pastor Cat asked him, well, what about children? You know, um, ooh, and his thing is, of course, we already know they had that conversation. She wants it within a year. He wants to wait maybe 2 or 3 years. And she lets us know that he's kind of put a monetary goal as far as for him before a time where he wants to start having children. So he wants to be in a position where he is earning $250,000 a year before he's ready to have children. And that's just for him, not like together with his wife, just him alone making that much money. So Pastor Cal says today, like, are you even ready to have kids? And Nate doesn't even answer the question. He says, well, I like kids. Nate, that is not answering the question. Do you want kids? Are you ready for kids? Yes or no? Like, I can't stand when people don't answer the question that is being asked of them. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't answer that. And they kind of get off of that and they get to talking about, well, sex. Have y'all had sex? And Sasha, lets us know that they have not. And it's pretty much because she wants to wait until she's in love before she has sex with them. Well, with him, I'm sorry. And not with them. I don't think Pastor Cal be going. But anyway, she wants to wait until she's in love before she has sex with Nate. And she says it's because it's like past hurt. And y'all remember, I told y'all last review, I said Sasha has been hurt. She has. And her past. And so she's trying to move a little differently. Like she said that she felt like sex was very transactional for her in the past. So she's just trying something new. And so she just wants to wait until she's had, those feelings of love that is being shared between the two of them before she goes there with him. And so she's also saying that she wants Nate to dig deeper and not be so surface level. And that in turn will allow her to develop those type of feelings for him, and then they can get to a point where they are sexually involved. So Pastor Cal is just telling Nate, like, look here, like basically you in control of how soon this is gonna happen. Like, just start opening it up more, dig deeper, you know what I'm saying, and those feelings will come. So it's the day after the dog fight, right? And so Lex is filling us in on the TV land about what happened with Noom. She was just like, he's going to be fine. But we see him in like this little cone collar. He has to be in it for about a week, so he doesn't scratch his eye any further, just giving it a chance to heal or whatnot. And she also lets us know that they sent Maya to a training camp for 2 weeks, so that she can learn to play nice with the other dogs. So we see Justin dropping Maya off, and They got the Arms of the Angel song playing all in the background. Y'all know that look. I'm being funny right now, but y'all know that little Arms of the Angel. Honey, y'all know that commercial. They be talking about get to the dog. Get pay this every month, so blah blah blah. I was just like, oh Lord. But they had the little sad music all in the background. They was just making that moment even more sadder because it really was sad to see. I'm laughing, y'all, but I'm laughing at just that whole vision in my head. But anyway, this thing was sad though, just to see that Justin was leaving his dog there for 2 weeks, so that she could get some training. And we get a flashback to the night before with Alexis telling Justin that she herself doesn't feel safe now with Maya. So Justin did let us know that he told Lex that if the training camp doesn't work, that he will be willing to give Maya up for good. And that just broke my heart because I know how just as attached as she is to Newton, you have to think on the flip side that Justin is the same way about his baby too. You know what I'm saying? So I did notice that when Justin was talking, he said that this was like a training camp for certain types of aggressive dogs. So I just took that to kind of mean that his dog, and like I said, I really don't know, it looked like a German Shepherd, but that whatever type of dog it is, it kind of falls in a category of what would be considered an aggressive dog. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm just hoping that neither one of them will have to give their babies up in the future, because that'll be a very hard decision to have to make, and especially behind somebody that you really don't know and you're uncertain about where your future is going to go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I will react in that situation. Like, I'm not sure how I would handle that. I will maybe see if like a family member would be willing to at least maybe take on my baby or something. I'm just saying, like, if I was in Justice's position, or I don't know. I don't know. I also just feel like the introduction of the dogs could have been better. Like, that's something I would have read up on, just like when it comes to having a baby and bringing your baby into your home. Like, you read up on those kind of things, like what's the best way to introduce the dog to the baby. Like, if the dog has already been there before the baby comes, you know what I'm saying, you allow them to smell the baby clothes and get used to the baby's scent, and you know what I'm saying, it's just ways to get that affirmation. And so yeah, I just kind of feel like there was some shared responsibility with that whole situation. And yet, in reality, I don't think Alexis took any part in that responsibility. However, she just dumped it all at Justin's feet. But that's just my opinion. Because she could have kept her dog on a leash too, especially after they had already kind of snapped at one another previously before the big fight. So, I mean, y'all let me know your thoughts. Like, do you think it could have been handled different, like the acclimation of the two dogs? Do you think they share responsibility? Or do you think one person holds more responsibility than the other? Do you think it's fair that Justin's dog has to go to this training camp? Do you think he should give his dog up? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, I do feel like after that aggression, that some type of training is needed. Because I know sometimes they'll be ready to go and put a dog down after that. You know what I'm saying? So, But I want to know from you, the viewers, like, what are your thoughts? All right. Anyway, so Miguel and Lindy, they're making dinner together, right? Well, let me back that up. Miguel is making dinner and Lindy is just sitting there watching. Like, she couldn't even get around and be the main sous chef. So um they talking and Lindy is uh being Lindy, and Miguel is saying how her ways are winning him over. Like, he's just becoming more open to her. And we see them deciding to no longer call decision day, remember, because Lindy said that's a trigger for her. And so now they have called it vow renewal day. Hashtag lingual. So Pastor Cal is with Ben and Morgan now. Same question. What does marriage look like? So she brings up feeling backstabbed by being, because of the whole don't tell anybody, I still have a class left, blah, blah, blah. So she's, going on how she is nervous, blah, blah, and how they just really upset her that he betrayed her by telling somebody, and they already had told, they had already discussed that he wasn't. And Ben apologized again and said he overreacted or whatever. And so this is the thing, like, again, I'm just gonna insert this just to give another kind of perspective, but not to dwell on it. Like, again, I don't know why she lied to Ben. I don't get that, because there's nothing to be lied about. But the thing that I guess the confusion for me is, did she lie to the experts or not? Because it doesn't seem like she lied to the experts about it, but maybe that she was kind of trying to front in front of Ben. Maybe like she felt like she didn't measure up to his accolades by just having an associate. So she lied and maybe said that, well, I have a bachelor's too. I don't know. Like, so all that part is still unclear, but just with how she was talking about it with Pastor Cal and all, it didn't seem like she had lied. It didn't come across, and not to say that this is facts, because at this point we don't know, right? But it just didn't come across as if she had lied to the experts about it. But anyway, so again, Ben apologized, says he overreacted. Pastor Cal, he's trying to smooth things over by saying, it's just something that has to be learned over time, as far as considering your spouse, because when you're single, that's how you're used to think. You're used to thinking singularly, right? And so Morgan said that trusting Ben, it just is a no-go right now. Like, that trust has really been broken. So Pastor Cal really presses her about her trust issues and where does that come from. And so she brings up her relationship, or the lack thereof, with her dad, and how they have had like a yo-yo relationship in the past. Like, there will be trust and then it's broken, or she gets hurt and then the trust and broken again, like that perpetual cycle of being just let down by someone that you are trusting. And so she just says that she had to get to the point where she put up boundaries. And, she told her dad, like, if you don't do XYZ, then we won't have a relationship. And apparently XYZ didn't happen. And so now that relationship is non-existent. And so they talk more about her just letting her walls down, because Ben is not her father. It's two totally different people. And that even that how he responded to how he made a mistake, and how he's been trying to make it better, and how apologetic he has been, how that's still just not enough for her, even though he's doing those things. And that would be something totally different from what she would get from her dad. And so just talking about letting those walls down, and also learning how to forgive, right? And so they talked about that. And then they also talked about the two of them getting to a place that they can be more affectionate towards one another, right? And why being gonna just try to slap her like he with one of his homeboys or something? I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, man, baby, he's so awkward, y'all. He's so awkward. But anyway, so he gonna say, well, I could watch some YouTube videos on being affectionate. And I'm just like, man, go on away from me with all of this. But truth be told, he probably can. You can find anything up in these YouTube streets. So Stasha and Nate, they're discussing Pastor Cal's visit, and she hits on how she really wants Nate to dig deeper. And so the biggest thing is she wants to know, or more specific details about his relationship with his biological mom. And she says that even though she doesn't know her father, it's still an emotional thing for her because that's half of her identity. And I think she's expecting Nate to feel similar to her or express emotions like her around this situation. But she has to take into consideration that they're two different individuals. They were raised differently, and how they handle those deep type of hurts are going to be different. And I think while there is pain there, then Nate's probably learned how to mask his over the years. You know, it's just buried really down deep there for him. So it's just not something that's going to come up as easy for him just because it does for her, if that makes sense. Because if y'all remember, even at his wedding, like, I think it was asked of his dad, well, are you going to cry? And his dad was like, no, I'm military. We don't cry. You know, and if his dad is having that mindset, you know, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that that's probably how he raised Nate too. Like, you a man, you don't cry. We don't show emotions. So all that hurt, because you know there has to be hurt there. Your mom is not in your life. So all that pain, I'm sure that Nate just over the years has learned how to keep that down deep inside of him and not bring it up and show it, right? And not to say that he can't give more of himself, because some of their conversations now leaves a lot to be desired. But and I'm not even just speaking on conversations that where there's like emotions have to be involved, just like any of their conversations. He can dig deeper, but I think something as sensitive as this, she's just gonna have to wait and be a little bit more patient with Nate until he figures out, because he has a definite wall there that he's just gonna have to work on getting through first. So anyway, over to Kristen and Mitch's. Over to Kristen and Mitch's. She asked him if he's ever been in love before, and if so, how did he know? And so Mitch was basically like, no, not an adult type of love. I'm like, dude, how are you 41? Well, you know what? Now that I'm finna say it out loud and I'm thinking about who Mitch is, you know what? Enough said. I ain't even got to finish that. I don't. So she tells him that she's the opposite. She's always full force. It's always passionate. She falls in love quick. And then she surprises him with a little gift. It was a nice little romantic thing. She had him a card that she's written, and it was very nice and lovely. And then she made him this coupon jar out of a mason jar, kind of like my affirmation jar. But in it, instead of affirmations, she had little coupons for the couple, for them to do couple things together, like cuddle or take a bubble bath or have a yes day. Like, I can only say yes to whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So that was nice and cute or whatever. But I should have known she was up to something then. But she is. They were telling him she ready for them to do the do, right? And Mitch, you can see that brother start sweating. He was just like so nervous. Like, you can see like his little Adam's apple. He started gulping, and I was like, oh my goodness, help this man. Help this man. Um, let me see. We are at Lindy's and Miguel's. Pastor Cal's there. And Lindy says that she needs Miguel to not tell her if there's conflict. And that really confused me. Like, I didn't really get that. Like, why you don't want your husband to tell you? Like, do you want to pretend like everything's okay? And so Miguel's just like, he doesn't know if he can do that. And he goes on to say how, he shuts down in those type of situations, and that he's ready to leave a person at that point. He shuts down, he checks out. His friends call him a doormat, and then that's when he says he's usually just ready to go, right? So basically Lindy is like, if this marriage is just based off of feelings versus commitment, then you may as well just leave now, because there are going to be times that we fight. There are going to be times where you don't like me. And if we're just going off of feelings, then what's going to keep you there? So that's what she was saying. She doesn't want to know when he's pulling away, because then she feels like that's a punishment to her for how she may have acted, or for whatever reason that he's upset with her. And again, I still just feel like there are some things that just need to be talked about, because then how can you address them and get over them? So, I couldn't really get with her on that one. But anyway, it ends with Miguel again saying he don't know if he can do that. And that was that on that. So now Pastor Cal's over there with Mitch and Kristen. And when he comes in, Pastor Cal threw so much shade at the dog. He said that's a face that only a mother could love. Oh my goodness. I said, Pastor Cal, you ain't right, boo. You ain't right. I'm talking about Luna like that. Oh, the shade. That tickled me so. So we learned that they did go ahead and consummate the marriage the other night, right? And so they bring up, have they spoken about their future together? And they said no, they really haven't thought much more past a couple of days in advance. And Mitch says, so he won't feel pressure. I'm just like, oh, get the F out of here. The men this season are just so soft. Like, they don't talk about the future so that Mitch won't feel pressure. So then he says, well, have y'all talked about incomes yet? They hadn't talked about that. They ain't talked about nothing, pretty much. And so he said, well, y'all whisper in each other's ear how much you make. And of course, she makes more than him. We already knew that. Mitch says he doesn't have a problem with it because that takes the pressure off of him. Oh, child. So then he says, well, have y'all talked about kids? Of course not. And she wants to have kids sooner than later. And he's the opposite. And Pastor Cal was basically like, look here, Mitch, you ain't got none of the prospect. So what's the hold up? What you waiting on? Pastor Cal, look. Oh, wait, the shade. I'm loving it, though. I'm loving it. You ain't got none of the prospect. What you ain't on, bitch? Because it's all facts. Who else gonna want Mitch? Who else? Again, Mitch was sitting on that couch gulping, like scared to the mud. I said, oh my goodness. The last couple to get a visit from Pastor Cal was Justin and Alexis. I was waiting on that one too. And I said they're going to save them for last. And sure enough, that's what happened. So Pastor Cal comes in and he wastes no time talking to them about the dog, right? Lex says she felt it was a miscommunication about the dogs. She says that Justin didn't disclose to her that Maya had already been in previous dog fights. So she feels like he wasn't being truthful. And that those other instances, wait a minute. So she feels like he wasn't being truthful, whereas he feels like he was. And he says those other fights with the dogs were other fights with the other dogs were irrelevant because she was just retaliating because they were antagonizing her, that Maya was. And my Alexis is just like, no, that's a lie. You're telling lies of omission. And she said that's just a reminder for her that they really are strangers. So Pastor Cal asked Lex, well, who do you think Justin is? Do you think something is wrong with him at his core? And baby, why did Lex say, I don't know? Like, Lex, come on, girl. She said, I don't know. But you done already told this man you love him. So clearly you don't feel like nothing is wrong with him at his core. Like, you're upset about the situation. But don't try to make it out like, well, I ain't gonna say that. But anyways. So he says, so she says, I don't know. And Justin is over there crying like a baby. And so he says, Alexis, what do you need from Justin? I need you to overshare. I need you to communicate. Even when you think you've communicated enough, communicate even more. Well, Justin, what do you need from Alexis? I need you to give me another shot with Maya. So he goes on to say that giving Maya up would be hard. And Alexis is like, I thought we already had that discussion. I thought that decision was already made. That, hey, if this training camp doesn't work, you were going to give her up. And so now he's basically saying, he don't want to give her up. And so this is where we get Alexis saying that in her interview, I guess she was probably out in the hallway, that if Maya continues to be aggressive, that's it for her. She's not gonna stay where she doesn't feel safe, and that the marriage will be over, right? And again, like I stated earlier, like, I get that will be so hard for Justin. Like, I really hate he will be in that position to make that decision, like his dog or his wife. But I do feel like both of them kind of share their responsibility about what happened with the dog. And I don't think that she is taking any kind of accountability. She's just laying it all on Justin. Now, I will say this, though. Like, I have had an experience with a dog. Like, my family, we've always had a dog. From the time I was a little girl, you know what I'm saying? And so I think I was maybe in around middle school, maybe, and we had this dog. And that was my baby too. Like, she literally would come and sit outside my window while I was at school until I came home from school. Like, that was my baby. But anyways, one of our neighbors came over, and she was just being protective. And she bit her. And she was a big dog, small. She was a Cocker Spaniel. And she bit her. And I just remember that from that instance, my dog was gone. My parents had to take her and get her put down. So I do know that there are consequences when your dogs are being aggressive, whether it's toward another dog or another human. So, yeah, man, I just think that's just a hard situation all the way around. But I'm hoping that they can push through and they find a resolution that works for the both of them. But anyway, y'all, that was how this episode ended. And looks like we'll begin some more fireworks coming soon, and which I can't wait. So until next time, I'm going to pray for you. You pray for me. And we will what? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.